Robert Hunter-Paul. Only my wife and my mum call me Robert. I must be in trouble. How's it going, everyone? Time to pick that energy up again. That's what I'm going to bring for you. It's all I got. I was accused earlier today, and it's relevant, but I was accused of writing my own biography in this program. It says, former international rugby player and established wellbeing ambassador. That's a lie, because what I wrote was former international rugby legend. Who changed it? I'll find out. Who was here last year? Put your hands up. All right, you might get in trouble afterwards, but we'll get to that as well. So engaging people to drive better outcomes. Well, I was talking about, you know how I like a little bit of a story to get warmed up. I was talking about international rugby, wasn't I? I just wanted to tell you a story, and it's not the one about my little fella popping out, it's a different one. That was last year, right? This story is about my first ever international experience playing for my home nation of New Zealand. Proudly, my dream come true. I don't know if anyone knows anything about New Zealanders, but we like rugby. We love rugby. It's more than a pastime, it's a religion down under. And growing up in New Zealand, that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to represent your country, go out there, wear that silver fern over your chest, perform the haka, and, obviously walk in those footsteps that your heroes had done before. And I got the opportunity to do that in 1997, that far back, 30 years ago, is that? 29 years ago. All right, 1997. Geez, I've been here a long time. People get less for triple murder. So I got the opportunity. So I was 20 years of age, and I got a phone call from the New Zealand international head coach, Frank Endicott. Awesome fella, just a big burly dude. And he said, Robbie, I was just finished playing a game. He said, Robbie, we'd like to invite you down to play for New Zealand against the Australians in Sydney at the Sydney Football Stadium. Would you like to do it, son? I said, yes, Frank, this is a dream come true. So obviously this is Sunday night. We had just played St. Helens. Couldn't sleep, too excited. I'm 20 years of age, you're still a kid. Too excited. Couldn't sleep that night, got on a plane, 30 hours down under, got there Wednesday morning in Sydney. Got taken to a hotel, taken to a room about half the size of this, brought into the room, and obviously I'm a kid, I'm 20 years of age. In that room are my heroes. So these are the guys that I'd grown up watching perform for New Zealand my entire life. And they were in that room and they were sort of looking at me as just a little kid. And coming into the team, they'd heard some stuff about me but never really seen me, so they were judgmental. I don't know. At that time, I just didn't think I was worthy. I had no idea that I was worthy to be in that room with those legends, my heroes. I remember to this day. I still very vividly remember. The manager was a gentleman by the name of Gary Cooksley. He said, Robbie, you need to go and see Frank in his room. He's on floor 6, room 3, in the penthouse suite. And I still remember that day, floor 6, room 3. And I remember going up. Is this on? I remember going up to the door and knocking on that door. That wasn't how it was supposed to go. There we go. We got there, knocking on the door, and the voice from behind the door said, come in. So I walked in, and there was Frank. And he goes, oh, hello, Robbie, come in. He gave me a big bear hug of a hug, threw me down on the settee. He goes, oh, it's so fantastic to have you here with us, Robbie. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, you're going to do us really proud. You're going to do your country proud. You're going to do your family proud. And I'm starting to build with them, because this is the guy that's got my future international career in the palm of his hands. So I'm with him. I'm like, yeah, okay. And he grabs this bag and he slides it towards me. It's my training kit. And I don't know, if anyone's ever played any sport before, your training kit becomes really important to you as a young athlete. And you're really proud to wear that moniker. And this was New Zealand. This was the year that you don't get any higher than that for me. Couldn't get any higher than that. So yes, my dreams have come true. And he's saying, he's throwing a lot of things at me. But then he finally says, Robbie, this is how, and this to paint the picture properly, rugby players are big. I'm not a big bloke. Rugby players are big. At that point in time, 20 years of age, I was about 11 stone wet through. You know what I mean? I wasn't a big fella. I'm a little bit bigger than I was then, even bigger now. And he goes, Robbie, the way that you're going to help us beat the Australian international team is we're going to put you in the front row. Now, for those of you that don't know rugby, there are two types of rugby players. There's the piano pushers that are 6'4", lug nose, lug head, monsters, absolute donkeys, behemoths of men. And then there's the piano players, the pretty boys that run around and get the big boys into trouble. Donkeys, pretty boys, piano pushers, piano players. I was a piano player. And Frank was threatening to demote me and put me into the front row with the donkeys, all of these big guys. And he could see I was nervous. He could see that I was worried. See the blood drain out of my face. He said, whoa, calm down, Robbie. I can see you're a bit nervous. What are you worried about, those big Aussie forwards? And I said, well, yeah, Frank. I mean, you're not just putting me in the front row. You're putting me in the front row against the number one front row on the planet, the Australians, unbeaten. They were awesome. They still are awesome, but at that point, they were just unbeatable. They were immortals. And he said, that's all nonsense, Robbie. I tell you what, I got you covered. You just listen to me, son. You just listen to me. I got you covered. I said, okay, Frank. When one of those big Aussie forwards gets you in the eye line, this is what I want you to do. And he started to get animated. He started getting up and he goes, I want you to look him dead in the eyes. Do the 1,000-yard stare, dare it into his eyes. Look him deep in the eyes, the pukan eyes, the eyes that you have on your face when you're performing the haka. And I'm listening to him, and he goes, and as he starts to run towards you, I want you to get into that. And he jumped up out of his seat, kicked the chair across the room. I want you to get into that big defensive system. Your anchor leg back, your punchy leg forward, and I want you to get that hammer out. Let him see your shoulder. Let him see what you're going to wrap around his lips. And I'm with him. He's telling the story, narrating it awesomely. And just before he gets to you, I want you to deep down. I want you to bend down nice, deep and strong. And just before he gets to you, I want you to reach down on the ground, pick up some poo, and flick it in his eyes. And I was like, yes, this guy's a genius. I was in the moment. I jumped up, grabbed my bag, and walking towards his door. And my hand reaches down, and I touched the door handle. And I had an epiphany. A moment of clarity just hit me like a lightning bolt. And I said to myself, I turned back and I said to Frank, we're going to be in the middle of the Sydney football stadium. Where am I going to get some poo from? And he said, Robbie, when those big Aussie forwards are running at you, there'll be plenty running down the back of your leg. So just use some of that. And now we're in the room. It's got some context. He didn't do that. He was messing with me, but that was the type of bloke that he was, because it was so important for him to create an engaging environment, to be supportive and immersive environment so we could be the best versions of ourselves collectively as a team. Collectively as a team. And we had to come together, and it always started with the leader. This is disseminated down into the leaders underneath the leadership group, and then it became a part of our culture. And culture's been mentioned a couple of times today. And this is the journey that I've been blessed to be invited to go on with the CoEO team. And we've had some fun along the way. So, building stronger people, stronger performance, and reflection and renewal for 2026 and what we're going forward with this year. And we've been having some fun. As you can tell, we like to have some fun. We've got to smile, don't we? Okay. So, we needed to set some strong foundations. So I did this last year, and we talked about our 2024. We did 9 wellbeing sessions that were just strictly about wellbeing. We were doing covered areas like digital detox. We did last year, right? We'll come back to that. I'm going to ask you some questions. Mindfulness, sleep hygiene, et cetera, et cetera. A number of different activities all the way through. And then last year, we revved it up because we wanted to go beyond just the well-being into performance, because this is what staff are obviously working with. And what a great thing about this is, and when we went into the performance workshops and we coupled them with the well-being workshops, if you have a circle and you list all the tools that you need to be a better performer, and you list all the tools that you need to have better well-being, you can pull them together in a Venn diagram, and 80 to 90% of those tools are exactly the same. And we all get it, right? We all get it. When we feel good, we perform good. And that's one of the core elements, the key takeaways of what we've been doing over the last few years and what we're doing moving forward. There we go. Oh, we also, last year as well, we did the Edale Skyline Scramble, a charity hike through the clouds, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was, who's from the team here that went on it? Yep, couple in the room. Yeah, there we have some up the top there as well. It was really tough. 12, half a marathon, but off-road, through the hills. And there's a really cool thing that happens when you meet adversity together. There's a little chemical in our brain called oxytocin, and that releases. And when you go through adversity together, it binds you tighter together. And so activities like these are food for the soul when it comes to a company, when it comes to a team of people coming together and staying together and working hard for one another, recognizing each other, having empathy for one another, because we had to do that. We had people who were cramping up, we had people that had hit the wall and still pushing through those last moments. It was an absolutely brilliant day out. And we had everything covered from board members, management, all the way down to frontline staff as well. So everyone was represented within the COEO team. Great fun also. And yeah, and I was waterboarding them with neuroscience along the way as well. We've had enough, Robbie. We just want to get through it. So we wanted to figure out, obviously there's been a lot of talk about data this week as well, today. And we wanted to figure out if what we're doing is having an impact, the impact that we think it's having, because anecdotally it was coming back and very positive, but we wanted to see some actual raw data on how the staff were feeling about it. So some great feedback for you guys to take back for your own companies, I guess. 95% of the staff reported that they felt more connected to the company's values and culture. I think that's a massive takeaway. By supporting them, they understand it, and that becomes part of the overall journey. 97% believe investing in wellbeing programs is important to very important. Why? Because we didn't get this stuff at school. We don't know this stuff. What we're getting is them drips and drabs in digital media, drips and drabs, and we don't know how to put it all together. And that's what we've been doing, working together with COEO and the team there to put it all together. And it's also what we're doing today in this session. 90% said they understand the wellbeing improved significantly, and 95% rated the workshops good. For me, great food for the soul is relevant to day-to-day roles, relevant to their personal lives, and applying the tools regularly. That's what I wanted to see, this final one. 85% of them are applying the tools regularly. I'm going to get to that other 15%. I don't know who they are, but I'm going to get to them. Okay. Part of the survey was to uncover some recommendations to how we develop and take it to another level. So the first one was to talk about a digital repository, a post-workshop pathway, an engagement pathway. So this is what we'll be doing after April. Around about April, we're going to start an engagement pathway. So we have a workshop that's followed up by intermittent educational nuggets, let's call them that. So it might be a video, it might be a blog post, it might be something like a reel or something like that. So we're building that. That's currently under construction right now. That destroyed me, that did. Died a little bit on the inside, having to have a shorter sessions. This is it. You guys are it. This is my one opportunity to get to stage. I live at home, 3 kids, wife, none of them listen to me. But you guys have to listen to me because I've got your attention. But yeah, no, taken on board. So sharper sessions. What they basically were saying, drop all the neuroscience. So you guys are getting it all today, because I'm not allowed to do it in the thing. So I put the neuroscience in. I got a reason for it. I put the neuroscience in because I want it to be believable. I want people to know this is coming from a solid source. It's just not anecdotal. That's not how I do business. I've got to see data. I've got to see the numbers. And in our industry, in this industry, it's understandable, right? That's how we work. Okay, moving on. But build internal advocacy and office atmospheric. So what that means is making a more immersive office environment. So continual feedback loops, monitors that it's going to be feeding back key elements from this type of stuff, from the repository pathway, stuff that we can put in front of them to make it immersive so they can continually start to think about checking in with themselves. I reinforce to all the staff that your well-being is your responsibility. I do say that, because your well-being is your responsibility. Work is hard. Work is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. It's work. But what we do outside of work, and be very relevant to what we're covering today, is our responsibility, and how we make ourselves more resilient in those moments so we can be better at work and perform better, and be better at home and perform better at home, and socially, culturally. That's our responsibility. What are we doing? Increase interactivity in the group sessions and one-to-one coaching. So we're also activating this. If someone's struggling with a strategy to put in place some of the new healthy habits that we're discussing, then we can have a one-to-one session with myself. Wait till I get my hands on them. Be very careful. So here's how we do it. You guys those of you that were here last year, this will be familiar, so I'll go through this quickly. We use this model, Professor Steve Peters' chimp paradox model, explaining that everybody in the room listening to me right now is the rational human, putting the information to the automated computer. So everything that we do, automated. If you drove here, you drive automatically, right? The rational human had to first teach it. Through repetition, it becomes automated. And that's one of the key elements of what we're doing in this session today. And the chimp, obviously managing the chimp. The chimp wants to take control. The chimp's hugely powerful, really big. But what we want to do is put the chimp back to that. It wants to do that. We want to do that. All right? We want to manage that as much as possible. Got to see him again. Brain plasticity, great. One of the greatest takeaways is that no matter how bad it gets in life, to everyone, remember this: we can make change. The brain is plastic until we die. Until we die. Yes, it's more plastic the younger you are. So if you're still young, great. Start doing really positive things now, and then it'll be your default setting. But even to the day we die, brain plasticity still happens. We just got to change it in the right way and do it through repetition. And this is an important one. Practice makes permanent. Neural pathways. So I use this image of a chimp walking through the heather. If we imagine a field of heather and a chimp standing at the back, or ourselves standing at the back, at the back of it, and we walked across that pathway, and we walked across it once, and we look back, that field of heather will be pretty much look exactly the same, because heather will bounce back. But if we walk past it again, and we walk past it again, and we walk past it again, it'll eventually start to create that pathway. And that's how neural pathways are. Through practice makes permanent. It's a critical element to understand with everything that we do. If you practice picking up your mobile phone as the first thing you do when you wake up, that becomes permanent. All right, I said I was going there. That becomes permanent. Those companies we were talking about want us to pick up our phones straight away. We are the product. We've been productized. So we need to mitigate against it and put things in place. So we change this pathway. We let it grow over again, and we do other things by removing the challenges. Okay. And this is what we've got to do. We've got to survive an always-on world. This is the world we live in. We're not going to escape it. We we're all here because we pretty much live we all have a digital connection. So that world that we have is going to be bringing us news, global uncertainty, digital overload, always more mindset. The thing about making it really easy for us to shop on Amazon, making it so seamless and just one click away, that's created via the always more mindset. I want more, I need more. My life isn't good enough without more. So we've got to manage that. There's no way that we can just stop it through motivation and discipline alone. We've got to put in place elements, things to manage it. Our world now is very much, and this is the reason why we have this little chimp in a snow globe. This is our world. If we grab a snow globe and we're in it and you shake it up, and the snow is going all over the place. That's the world in which we live in, and that's the reality of our day-to-day existence. And what we need to do is figure out a way that we can put that snow globe down and everything settles to the ground again. And that's what today's about creating a system that does exactly that. And what's cool about today is we've got a heap of tools that you guys, so I'm going to talk about these tools that you can use to do exactly that, and then you guys can download them so they're available for you guys on behalf of CoEO in this event today. So mindfulness tools. So this is what we've delivered to the CoEO team over the past 6 months. We've done in-depth workshops on breathing exercise, applied breathing, meditation, journaling, and gratitude practice. Pretty much the 4 main tools for down-regulating your brain. So basically bringing your nervous system and calming it down. Pretty much 4 to 5, sometimes some of those 6 examples of how to do it. And we're going to learn a couple of them now. Okay, so this is going to be a breathing exercise. Pretty simple and straightforward. But before we do the breathing exercise, we need to learn how to breathe properly. Does anyone do any mindfulness activities regularly, daily? A couple? All right, shame on the rest of you. Shame on you. So this is no longer a negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. Because that world's so crazy, we've got to do it. You won't, how many times you say, I don't know why I reacted like that. You reacted like that because the stress bucket gets filled up. And we've got to figure out ways to do it. And I tell you what, you will benefit from it. And the most important thing, if you remember my analogy, well, the circles, the performance, and the well-being things and the crossing over, the tools, they're exactly the same. If you use these tools regularly, you get the compounded interest of these tools regularly, you'll perform better. So if performance is your motivator, then that's the reason to do it. If happiness and living in your own skin is your motivator, then there's another great reason to do it. So, starting with belly breathing. So how to breathe properly, how to breathe it so you can send signals to the brain about what to do. So when we're in fight or flight, when we're angry, how do we breathe? How do we breathe? We're chest breathers, aren't we? And generally we are chest breathers anyway. You're running a thing on the treadmill, or you're doing some exercise, or you get upset. So your brain knows what it's doing. So belly breathing is the opposite. So it's breathing from the bottom part of your tummy. And the easiest way to do it, we'll do it as a practice. I want you to, everyone to put their hands on their tummy, put their hands on their chest. And what we want to do, when you breathe out, your hand on your tummy goes out. So nice and low on your tummy, on your waistband. Your hand goes out, and your chest pretty much stays still. So breathe out, breathe in, breathe in, and your hand goes out, breathe out, and it goes in. And what we're doing there, we're teaching the brain straight away to send it, we're teaching the body straight away to send a signal to the brain that we're calming down. This is a calm moment. Now we're being calm. And that's belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. It's a really simple activity to do, but that's where you should, where possible, go back into belly breathing. Because straight away, what you're doing there is you're integrating the prefrontal lobe with the limbic system. You're telling the rational human that you've got control and the chimp needs to get back into its place. Okay, so that's belly breathing, right? The easiest way of feeling it without having to sit there on the train next to someone, sat like this, is just to breathe into your waistband. So breathe out, I breathe in to your waistband, and breathe out, let it drop. Real simple, and you can do it, and no one even know you're doing it. You do it right next to the person, and they won't know you're doing it. Okay. You understand the difference? One, chest breathing, fight or flight. Rah, gotta fight, gotta run away. The other one, I got this, I got control. Okay, that's not the exercise, by the way. That's just a exercise. I said a solid foundation. This is the exercise. Resonance breathing. So, effectively, there's just 2 steps to it. We chill out, and that's really important. We keep the breath low and wide and through the belly and the ribs. No forced breathing, no breath holding, just try to be natural. But you slow down your breathing to 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Just count 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And you know, this is a great breathing exercise if you're experiencing anxiety, because one of the things that it does, it takes your mind off whatever you're ruminating about, and it puts your mind on the 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Down regulation, allowing your limbic system to calm down, your nervous system to calm down. It's also directly impacting on the vagal nerve, which runs from the limbic system down to your heart. So when you're making a conscious effort to slow down your breathing, you're sending a signal to your heart to say, now it's time to slow down the heart rate. You gain control again. And it's, like I said, it's a great tool to use when you're experiencing anxiety or a bit of stress. So let's just give it a go, okay? Okay? So really comfortably, just relax, breathing into our waistbands, doing our belly breathing. 1, 2, 3. Now breathe in. Breathe out. Again. And out. Now, cool. Now, this time I want you to do it. So what's good about this is that, like, when it comes to, some people don't like to do like activities like meditation and stuff because they don't like closing their eyes, or they don't like where their mind goes. So this is cool because you don't need to close your eyes. All right, so you can do it in full control, full everywhere, and just be in the moment. But this time when you do 5 seconds in, and when you do the 5 seconds out, I want your body to get really heavy. Just let your body relax, and especially your jaw. Everyone likes to tense up their jaws for some reason. When you're doing something different, let your jaw relax. Let your eyes get heavy. Let your head get heavy. So, count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heavy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heavy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Now, if you didn't know a breathing exercise, now you got one in your locker. You've got a tool. You've got one. You can pull it out whenever you want. Down reg, feeling stressed, you can use that. Last year we did the physiological sigh, if you remember. Now you got 2 in your locker. Joining Club Med, no, I'm not talking about the holiday resorts. We're talking about Club Meditation. So this one's good fun. We've all seen those yogis or, the Shaolin monks doing the Om meditation. They're sitting there going Om, Om. Well, that's what we're going to learn. So what we do is we inhale gently through the nose and exhale slowly, making the soft humming sound of Om or Voom. For me, Voom makes a more of a vibration. And it's the vibration is what we want. That's the critical part, the vibration of the jaw going, the lips going, but most importantly, sending that vibration to your limbic system once again and the vagal nerve. The vagal nerve going from the limbic system down to your heart. We're massaging. This is effectively a massage, an internal massage. Not an external one, but an internal massage. So, feel the vibration on your lips, face and chest, rinse and repeat. Okay, we're going to give that a go, all right? All right? As silly as it might feel and sound, we're going to give it a go. Okay, count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Boom. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? And that's it. That's it. Repetition beats intensity. Consistency beats intensity when it comes to all of these exercises. And that's where we start. Intensity will come, but we've got to build something first. So building healthy habits. So we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. And this is integral, this is important because this is one of the things that I learned being a professional athlete. And the difference between professional athletes and amateur athletes, they can still train at the same intensity as each other, but the professional athlete has better systems. They've got professional, world-class systems. And within those systems come better outcomes. And this is what we're talking about when it comes to creating healthy habits. So what we're working on with the COEO staff is we've been teaching them all the tools in regards to improving their well-being and their performance. Now it's how they implement them into your life. And in the context of this session, what we're just talking about is just you guys thinking about that breathing exercise and the meditation exercise. So we're using that. But actually, when you think about it, it's relevant to absolutely anything. We're going to run through some tools. There's a QR code at the end of this presentation in which you can get those tools for you. You can just download them. We've got them set up on the website, so you'll be able to get those in when I finish. Okay, building healthy habits. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our system. So important. It's what happens in your businesses. What we're doing is applying a systematic approach to our own well-being and performance. That's how it works. You want excellence? You've got to have great systems. It's about the system. The thing is, motivation and discipline only last so long. In all things like goal planning, there's what they call the middle problem. So if you have a 12-week system, week 3 to week 7 is the problem. People drop off and drop out, and they lose the energy. How many people do we hear about getting gym memberships in January, by week 3, never been to the gym? Or by week 3, they're not going to the gym again. Gyms love it because they know that, oh yeah, I'll go back to the gym later on. Oh yeah, I'll go back to the gym later on. I'll go. And they never do. And they're just still paying the money. They love it. They've got all the money and none of the cleaning, none of the effort. So the gyms love it. And this is why what we've got to do is not do things where we're psychologically going to drive ourselves through it, because that's not what athletes have. Athletes have superior systems. The world-class people have superior systems. 101. So we apply those. Superior systems. Oh, no. What am I doing? I'm turning something off maybe. Oh, what have I done? Yes, I crashed the system. Who wants another story? Okay, yeah, there we go. Oh, as you can tell, we love a chimp, right? Okay, so strategy beats motivation and discipline. We just covered that. So quick overview. This is a truncated version of what the team at COEO will be getting. There's a little bit more body to it, but it's still effective. This system is a truncated version I primarily use for myself. So I'm giving you what I use. Assessing current habits and routines, sculpting the habits, and healthy habit implementation. How to sculpt them and then how to put them into your daily routine. Primarily what we're going to do, winning the day, morning review. Primarily what we're going to look at in this example is just the morning. But on the downloadables that you can get at the end of this, it's got a morning and afternoon. So you can take this and fill it in. So what we do here is we write our current habits, our current system, and what we've got currently in place, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. And we fill in that space so we can at least make an assessment, understand what we're working with. All right? Easy to follow, right? So a little bit of education moving forward. 9 morning performance traps, snoozing the alarm, terrible. Who does it? Put your hand up. Come on, let's go. Okay, the reason why that's not good is because it upsets your circadian rhythm. So your circadian rhythm is the thing that gets us going throughout the day. There's 3 of them that we have. A morning one where we've got our most energy. The second one in the evening where we come down serotonin. Well, morning we get cortisol and adrenaline release. Afternoon we get serotonin and ultimately melatonin, which gets us off to sleep. So you want a better sleep, and then you want a better sleep quality, full stop. You get up at the same time. If you're not getting enough sleep, go to bed earlier. That's effectively how it works. Some more stuff to put in there, but that snooze keeps dragging your wake-up time along. And that's not what the body wants. The body wants to get up at the same time every day, where possible and practicable. Okay. Hands up. Who does this? And I know, you say, well, I've got to turn my alarm off, right? But I found on Amazon alarm clocks for £5. We can all afford £5, right? All right, so so the thing you've got to know here, your brain's been in a state of fast. It's been fasting all night. And the first thing you're going to do, you're going to chuck on it emails, doom scrolling. You're going to start fizzing up. You're shaking up the snow globe again. And we don't want to shake up the snow globe. We need to let it settle into the day. And throughout the day, it needs to basically release the chemicals at the right time. Caffeine immediately. Who has coffee first thing? All right, give yourself an hour. Here's a note. Just give yourself an hour. That messes up your cortisol, the natural release of cortisol. Again, this has an impact on your ability to set your circadian rhythm, so you go to sleep at night. So it's not just about going to sleep, it's about the quality of sleep. It's about the quality of sleep that you get. And also, you'll release the right amount of cortisol that empowers you for the rest of the day so you don't get a dump. So that's one of the important reasons why coffee too early, you get a dump too early. I'm lucky that actually we got up. I get the 3 o'clock and not the 1 o'clock, because we all went upstairs and had loads of carbs, didn't we? A sugar spike, boom. So this is a better time to actually get to chat. Staying indoors, get outside, daylight. Daylight is the number one tool when it comes to setting your circadian rhythm. So if you can, this time of year, sun's just starting to come out now. I know in winter it's impossible. So if you see my setup at home, I've got a sad light that sits right there. So I do my morning system and I have a sad light that I just absorb it for 20 minutes, right there. Do other things. I read at the same time as that. I casually read, which is good for the brain and a good way of onboarding for your brain at the beginning part of the day. But staying indoors is not a good thing. Get some movement in. A movement, again, another one of the key triggers, daylight, movement, key trigger for setting your circadian rhythm. Try and stay away from negative inputs. One of the problems that we have with getting our phone first thing, straight away we're going to release cortisol, an unhealthy amount of cortisol at the wrong time. You want to set your intentions, basically. Set your intentions for the day so you know what direction you're heading in, or else you can get to this thing, which will get mental carryover, right, from what happened yesterday. This is another one also. Be wary of what you eat for breakfast. So what you have in the morning, sugar or ultra-processed breakfasts can have a massive impact. Insulin spikes, insulin dumps, meaning your productivity then dumps through the ground. So this is the thing for feeling good. But also, look at them. They're all for performing good. All those tools are just the same for performing good. So, healthy habits, super tools, morning sunlight, what we're talking about, cold exposure, good, about 30 minutes into it, release, in a controlled way, you release the cortisol, get a different type of spike, not a chemical spike, but one that you're controlling, a physical spike, one that you control. Strategic caffeine, so use it after that first hour. So caffeine's not bad. Caffeine's not bad. Big coffee drinker, just when you drink it. Meditation and breath work, setting your mind up for the day. And we just did a meditation and a breath work, right? So we can put that into our daily planner. Sleep hygiene, what you do, your sleep routine going to bed can have an impact on how you get up from bed and have an impact. It's the biggest indicator of whether or not you're going to have a good day the next day. Your output, your ability to perform. So sleep is so important. Sleep hygiene, so important. If you've not given it any thought in your life so far, give it some thought now and think about what's your pattern going to sleep. A bit of advice, 2 hours before you go to sleep, nil by digital, 1 hour minimum. 2 hours, set yourself up for a much better sleep, coming down regulating yourself. Dim your lights, etc., etc. Gratitude practice and journaling. Again, setting your intentions for the day, making sure you're heading in the right direction and you're in the right frame of mind. Stress reappraisal. If you're feeling stressed or if you've got a stressful thing coming up, have a think about what stress is. What is stress? It's a release of norepinephrine in your brain and cortisol. What are those things? One helps you with focus and the other one helps you with energy. Helps you focus and energy. So reframe stress. Reframe that stressful thing. It's going to pick you up, lift you up. Smart mini goals. Big goals are hard to do, but smart mini goals. Little tasks for you to achieve in a short amount of time. And exercise and nutrition. 101. 101. You can't get past these two things. Eat the right foods, exercise daily. Your best tools that you can use for basically everything. Okay, so moving quickly along. So in that downloadable and with the QR code at the end, you're also going to get a desired habits and routines. So you can, what you want to do versus what you currently do. What you want to get to and what you currently, because we need to see these things, map them out. And just so you know, did I say it before? There's both morning and evening. 2 things outside of work that you can control. And you're most likely to have already habits and routines built into these parts of the day. So you can list them very easily and then restructure them. Before you write out this one though, there's a couple of tools I want to share with you. So this is a tool that works really, really well. So as you've written out your current habits, you can implement this tool to either replace bad habits or stack new good habits. So let's say you've got a good habit of, I get up every morning and the first thing I do is I do 2 minutes of breathing exercises. And then maybe the next habit that you want to put in, that I need to get some omega-3 fish oils in. And also, because I've been sleeping all night, I probably need to hydrate a little more, and I don't do that every morning. So what you do is you anchor them to current habits. Now, let's say you've got a bad habit. We wake up and we reach for our phone. Well, we replace it with a good habit. So when you're writing out that desired habits, you write out what you want to do, where you want to get to. And you put those elements in because the brain doesn't like space. So don't just leave a gap. Oh, that's a bad habit. I'm not going to reach for my phone. Replace it with another habit and start to do that good, positive thing. So, okay, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I sit up in bed. I do breathing exercises. I've replaced reaching for my phone with that. I do that 2-minute, breathe into my tummy, resonant. And what's 2 minutes? 12 breaths in and out. We can all do that, right? After all, as an example, after brushing my teeth, I'm going to do 2 minutes of Om meditation. So we all brush our teeth, which is a really healthy habit. Put your hand up if you don't brush your teeth every morning. Yeah. So really healthy habit, right? Do the breathing exercise straight after it. So what will happen will become your toothbrushing exercise down will become the trigger. When you put your toothbrush down, it will become the trigger, the cue, the signal for you then to do your meditation. Now, you've got to put some effort into it. You get some thought into it. That motivation gets you moving, but repetition, practice makes permanent, right? And it's a positive thing because if we look at your current habits and there's heaps of junk in there, that's because we've practiced it. and we've put it in there, and we need to replace it. This is the habit creation is one of the strongest tools for both performance and well-being. So this whole thing that we're doing here is one of the strongest approaches to it. You can have everything you want, but unless you have a system to make it happen, it falls apart. Remember what we said, willpower, motivation, discipline alone is nonsense. That's not what athletes use. They use systems. Systems, this is a system. Okay, James Clear's Atomic Habits fame has these 4 laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it rewarding. But because we're a truncated version of it, I'm going for the ones that I use, and it's pretty much just in the make it easy column. Nice calm chimp in a calm little snow globe setting. Humans love the pathway of least resistance. Everything that we do is the path. Everything, even if they're bad habits, it's the pathway of least resistance. That's how it's got there. That's why our phones sit next to us in the beds, because we can reach for it, and that's the pathway of least resistance. If we put our phones across the room, we've got to get up and go. So if you want to get rid of your bad habit of reaching for your phone, I've just given you a pathway of resistance. So what we use to put in place habits, we use the opposite of them to get rid of habits. So the first one, make it tiny, make it small, 2-minute rule. So that's why I keep talking about this 2-minute breathing exercise. I meditate for 20 minutes every morning. I started with 2 minutes. I committed to 2 minutes. It was the habit of coming downstairs, triggering the kettle, because I like a cuppa in the morning. Triggering the kettle, and then I went and sat down. And that trigger, the click, is my signal to go and sit down and meditate. And I've got a seat the same seat that I meditate in every single day. Prime the environment, the same seat that I meditate. I know that seat, I never sit in that seat any other time other than when I'm meditating, because I've just primed that just for what I do, my meditation. Every morning. So we're just talking about mornings. I also, at the end of the day, either on my driveway or before I pull out of the driveway at work, I meditate. Because what I don't want to do is take what I'm doing at work home. So I clear my clock, so my family get the best version of me. They get daddy home. They don't get Robbie the marketer or Robbie the wellbeing coach. Prime your environment. So think about your own. Make it easy, make it tiny. So whatever that is, so let's say I want to go to the gym, all right? Go to the gym and commit to 5 minutes. Don't commit to 50. Commit to 5 minutes. It's the habit. Getting into your training gear, going to the gym. That's the problem. That first part. The training will take care of itself. You're most likely not going to do 5 minutes. Most people don't. Right? They'll go to 20 minutes. But even 20 minutes is still a shortish gym session, depending on how hard you work. But make it tiny. So make it tiny. Prime the environment. So if the gym is your thing, then put your training gear as the first thing you see. Replace your mobile phone with your training gear and get into your gym gear if you're going to go before work. Make it easy for you to get to it. Making it easy, right? Prime your environment. Make that seat. So we're talking about the breathing exercise. We're talking about meditation. Make it tiny. 2 minutes. That's all I'm saying to you. Start with 2 minutes. Start with 2 minutes. It'll work. Create that habit. It'll become 5 minutes. I'll show you how. And use automation. So if you're going to, we live in this crazy world where we've got automated devices. Let's use them. They're the product, not us. They're the tools, not us. So you get notifications on your phone to remind you to do things at the right times. There's loads of apps that are reminder apps. Get them. Put them on your phone. If you want to reach for the phone, make your phone work for you positively. Empower you. Cool? Okay. And inside this QR code, the downloadable, you've got this. So this is healthy habit tracking. This is how you stay. You've got to put this like on the, the fridge. Put it on the fridge, and you put a black or blue tick every time you do it daily. whatever habit it is. So in this context, we're talking about meditating or breathing, right? Breathing exercise or meditation. So say meditation, we write meditation in here, and then we go along this top thing and we tick it every single day that we do it. We've got a tick, so it's visual, and we keep ourselves accountable. Every time we miss a day, we put a red cross on it, so that jumps out at us. It becomes a motivator for us. We say very visual with it, and we talk, we can see it. It's judging us. It's belittling us, but it's motivating us because we don't want to let ourselves down. So we write on it. For 30 days, we do it without starting anything brand new. And then what we do is we scale it. We take it from 2 minutes to 5 minutes, 5 minutes to 15 minutes, etc., etc., etc. These are, again, on the downloadables, these are set up so you can start new habits. Don't start a new habit within 30 days. So do one habit for 30 days. Let it embed a strong foundation, strong neural pathway in your mind, and give it no distractions. Do that one thing for 30 days. Then, fill your boots. Scale it, because it's probably going to be in there, but it still needs a little bit more support, and then you can start another one. And this is all available to you in the download. And that's it. You've survived another year with me. Absolutely brilliant. This is the downloadable. I'm going to leave it up there. You can take it. It's obviously free. Print it off. Use it. What we can do, if anyone wants to have a little bit more of a detailed information on what we've got all the presenter notes and everything on it. So just let me know and I can give you everything that you want to need.
Thank
All
you.
right, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, Robbie. Thank you.